What's up, everybody? My name is Alan Wade. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, we're going to talk about the top three, and I'll tell you why in a minute, the top three embroidery machines that I would recommend that you should buy if you're just getting into the embroidery game. And I'll tell you why I decided to go with three and not top five or something like that.
Boom, wait a minute, just like that. Boom, 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 just like that. A-Dubb Productions, just like that. Like, comment, subscribe, just like that. Boom, wait a minute, just like that. A-Dubb, you ready? Wait a minute.
Guys, stay to the end of the video because I want to show you something that's really, really cool that you want to see that's in this box that's going to change the game for you when it comes to hooping and embroidering on hard to hoop items. It's like the next level. I'm going to make videos on it soon, but I just want to show it to you guys. So stay to the end of the video. The first machine that I would recommend if you are starting off, if you have a low budget, obviously you're just getting into it, so you don't have that much of a budget, or you might have a big budget. But let's talk about the low budget people just starting off like I did, kind of with the path that I did. I would recommend that you guys either get the Brother SE700 single needle machine or the Brother SE2000 single needle embroidery machine. Let me tell you why. Hear me out here. One, because there's going to be a low investment. You're going to start off at a very, very low price point, and these machines sew as well as embroider, and that's a key part of why I would recommend those machines. When you're starting off, it's good to get your feet wet with a machine that embroiders at is very, very reliable. And I find the Brother machines are very, very reliable when it comes to the single needle machines. The price point is just right. They're very, very reliable. And make sure you're getting the SE series. Like I said, the SE700 and the SE2000. Reason being is because those machines sew and embroider. And if you have a machine that sews and embroider, when you advance and you graduate up to your next machine, you can still keep the lower machine because it has a sewing feature that you can use while your embroidery career, your embroidery expertise grows, right? So you're gonna be in situations where a client wants you to embroider something, and the easiest way to do it, the cleanest way to do it, is to make a patch first and then sew it onto the garment. Now, in order to sew something onto the garment, you need a sewing machine. If you started off with a Brother SE700 or SE2000, you already have that sewing feature on that old embroidery machine that you graduated from. So you got something that's a lower price point. You're going to get your feet wet. You're going to learn how to embroider. You're going to learn some embroidery terminology. You're going to learn how to thread the machine, even though it's a single needle. You're going to learn some embroidery rules. You're going to touch some digitizing a little bit. You're going to embroider on a few items. And then you're going to have a machine that also has capabilities to sew. And that's very, very valuable. I consider myself to be a more advanced embroiderer, rather. And I sewed something up today. This pants pocket had a hole in my pants pocket. I flipped it inside out. I broke out my Genome sewing machine. I didn't have my Brother SE600 here, but I broke out my Genome sewing machine and I sewed it. Now, if you start off with your Brother SE700 sewing and embroidery SE, or your Brother SE2000, which has a larger embroidery area, even though it's still a single needle, you have that capability of sewing. So you're advanced now, you're making a patch for a client and you want to sew it on a garment, you don't have to go out and buy a separate sewing machine. But I would recommend two birds with one stone. You're starting off embroidery, you got your SE700, if that's your budget, or if you want a larger embroidery field, SE2000. Sewing and embroidery in one machine. That's why I recommend it. Low price point, easy to get into, and you got that feature. So when you graduate, you can still hold on to that machine. Now, you've made some money, you're into the field, you want to do more things, you're tired of changing out colors, you've decided that, yes, I do want to do this, I want to get more customers, I want to do things faster, you want a multi-needle. Now, the next machine I'm going to recommend, it should be to no surprise for you guys, it is going to be the Bai Mirror or the Bai Vision. The Bai Mirror or the Bai Vision multi-needle embroidery machine. And I'll tell you why. Based off of my experience dealing with the different machines that I've dealt with, going from a Brother single needle embroidery machine to operating a Bai machine is going to be kind of a seamless transition, and you're going to be able to make money as fast as possible because the Bai Vision in particular is really not problematic to operate. You're going to run into less issues starting off with a multi-needle machine with a Bai Vision, right? I don't have a Bai Mirror, but I would imagine that the Mirror is the lower price point, the Vision is the higher price point, that's more industrial, that's more solid, that's bigger and more robust. But I would imagine that the Mirror, which is a lower price point, with that same Bai line, it offers a low price point so that you can get into your multi-needle era just a little bit easier without spending as much money, okay? And I would recommend buying your Bai from Print Direct US. That's very, very important. Print Direct US. It's an American company, small company. Now, I want you guys to guess in the comment section what machine you're thinking I'm thinking of next. Put it down in the comments because I'm quite sure a lot of people are going to be surprised. The next embroidery machine I would recommend for you to get, if you have a big budget and you don't mind putting out the money, you have a big budget, money is not an object, I would suggest getting a ZSK, anything on the Sprint line. ZSK, Sprint 6, Sprint 7, Sprint 7XL. They have a bunch of different machines on that Sprint line. And the reason why, even though I don't have one, I know that those machines are the best of the best in the embroidery industry. And I've been in the industry for a while. You guys know I've been making videos for a while. I've touched a lot of different machines. I've watched a lot of different machines. I've talked to a lot of different manufacturers. I've learned the technology. I've learned the inner workings, what some have and what some don't have. And the ZSK models are the models and the machines that are the military grade, is the best way I can put it, of the industry, built to last the most robust parts, and they embroider, like, I won't say embroider the best because all machines, as we all know now, we've all seen a bunch of machines, they all embroider fine, as long as you have your settings right and everything. All the multi-needles pretty much embroider fine, but the ZSKs, they will run the fastest with the most precision out of all the machines that are out there, okay? And they're a German-made company. I've talked on the phone with ZSK reps, and we've had very, very long conversations and talked about the technology in detail. And I think that there is really no middle ground. There's like entry level, then there's mid-tier, then there's Bentley, Rolls-Royce, Ferrari type of situation, all right? That's the ZSK machine. I know you guys are wondering, well, what about Tajima? What about Melco? What about the Brother multi-needle machines? What about all of those? What about Ricomas, right? You guys are wondering all about those machines. To me, those are all in the same kind of bracket. What about the Baradins, right? To me, it's like you're starting off, okay, you want to start a business, okay, I want the best because I'm curious type of situation, all right? Everything else is just, you're just throwing money out the window because they all embroider. And if you're going to get a machine that just embroiders, you're going to want to go with the Bai Vision, all right? That machine is it just embroiders, it's a workhorse, and you want something to make money. You're not chasing names and stuff like that. You want something to make money that's going to grow your business. You're going to want to get something that's the most cost efficient, that you can make the most money with, and that's going to be the Bai Vision. All right, now when money is no object, then you can go get your ZSK. And that's the reason why I say everything else in between is just fluff and names, and it really doesn't mean anything, because regardless of what anybody says online, You can also go online and look around at different machines, look around at different people using it, look at what they're producing. And if you notice, a lot of people complaining about machines have the same complaints from brand to brand. And a lot of people embroidering produce beautiful things from brand to brand. And quite frankly, the higher costing machines, other than ZSK, I just don't see the value there in paying more money, because I've used a lot of these machines and I just don't see the value when you can just buy something that's really affordable and that can deliver a quality stitch like the Bai Vision. All right, so that's why I'm suggesting those machines. So we got the Brother SE700 or 2000. We got the Bai Mirror or Bai Vision, and we got the ZSK anything in the Sprint line. Those are the top 3 machines that I would recommend for you to get if you're just starting in the embroidery business and you have different price points and different budgets. All right, now this is very debatable. I know I'm going to get a lot of comments in the comment section, but this is what I recommend based off of my experience and what I've been through in this industry and my hands-on experience. I'm not talking about hearsay. A lot of people are going to talk about hearsay and what they heard and with speculation and things like that. They have their comments, but a lot of them haven't put their feet in the water. They haven't gotten their toes wet. They haven't touched the machines. They haven't used it like I have. All right, so that's why I'm recommending the machines that you're going to have the easiest time with. You're going to go from the Brother, you're going to go from the Bai, then you're going to go to the ZSK, or just stick with the Bai and get multiple Bai Visions. All right, so hate it or love it, I'm going to tell you guys the truth every single time. If you want something just embroiders and embroiders quality, that's what you're going to do. Everything else in the middle, they all embroider. It's all just fluff and names. If you want something quality, if you want something that you get service and great customer service in, that's what you're going to do. Now, I know you guys know that that wasn't my path. I went from the Brother SE600 and I went to Ricoma. And a lot of you guys know why I went to Ricoma, because they had the deals. And I learned a lot from having Ricoma machines. And one of the things that I learned and why I didn't put Ricoma on my list is because they do just work. They do just work as long as you know how to set it up and you know how to turn the knobs and twist the buttons and press the buttons, and but they're not as easy to use as the Bai Vision is. I didn't have as smooth as a time using the Ricoma MT1501 as I did the Bai Vision when I first got my Ricoma. And the other reason why I didn't recommend Ricoma off the bat, not that they're bad machines, they're great machines, they still work, guys, but the real issue is the value versus the Bai Vision. The price points, they're not there. I think the Bai Vision is a better value for your money than the Ricoma MT1501 or even the Ricoma Marquis or even the new Ricoma Swift. The Bai Vision is just a better buy, pun intended, is a better buy than any of the Ricoma lines, in my opinion. For the price point, better than all of them. Now, one of the devices that we use, especially when you start getting your hooping arsenal together, is the 8-in-1 device. Some of you guys know what the 8-in-1 device is. Well, this right here takes the 8-in-1 and gives it steroids, if you will. This right here from Soltech is the 8-in-1 magnetic frame. So let's check it out, guys. Let's open it up. And we have the 8-in-1 device magnetic frames. All right, so we got this slim thing right here. This is way small. I'm not even sure how we can embroider in this right here, but that's one. We got that. We got one for pockets right here. We got another one for pockets right here. We got one for sleeve. We got another one for pockets. We got one for like a hat or something like that. We got another one for different types of bags. We got another one for bags, and we got this one right here that goes on to the machine. All right, and we have different mounting brackets for the various types of machines that we might have. I think these are some more brackets right here. So you screw the brackets into the arm right here, and you can attach this to the machine, and these brackets right here go into on like this. So let me demonstrate how it goes on. Let me grab the one for hats real fast and just put it on. You know what? What's open already? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Let me grab this one right here. Let me show you guys how it works. All right. So undo that. Okay. First of all, man, this is tough. All right. So boom. Undo that right there. You unscrew this right here. Right. Put that down right there. And then fell on the floor. Then you screw this back on, and that locks everything in place like this. All right. And then with the arms that you get, you're going to put on the appropriate arms for the machine that you have, with the screws that come in here, and you're going to slide this on the machine and put your hat or whatever it is that you're putting on in here. And then guess what, guys? Instead of putting that annoying sticky stuff on here, guess what you're going to do? Magnetic. Now we got the magnetic frame right here, so we don't have to use that sticky stuff anymore. All right, so we got this one. We got, say if you want to do your pants pocket, like you guys saw me do the pants pocket before. You guys saw me do the black here on the pants pocket. So say if I got a pants pocket or something like that, I can use something like this. All right, I could take this off right here, slide that off. I can slide that in my pants pocket, denim jeans, or maybe like a shirt or something like that, shirt pocket. Maybe I'd use a slim one for a logo or initials on a shirt pocket, or even a cuff of a sleeve or something like that. Then I go like this. I put my pants pocket in there. Boom, held right into place. Or you can put your stabilizer on there. Boom, hold it right into place right there. Embroidering. So you got a magnetic 8-in-1 device. How cool is that? And this is what we need: solutions for hooping things. The more solutions you have, the more jobs you can take, the more things you can embroider, the more money you can make. Not only do you need the right machines, guys, but you also need the right equipment to operate as smooth as possible, to knock out jobs as fast as possible, so you can tell more clients yes. And look, you even got the big one right here for doing bags, for doing tote bags. You can go sideways with somebody's name or initial. Remember I did the what did I do the other day? I did the toiletry bag. Boom, right here. Book bags. This way for the long tote grocery bags if you want to put a design on the side of that. And then you got a smaller one for a smaller bag. All different sizes right here. I think it's going to be dope, and I can't wait to show you guys some use cases and how I plan on using this to get more clients. The name of the game is to get more clients, have more solutions at an affordable price, so you can tell more clients, yes, I can embroider on that, and your wheels can start turning, and you can start doing other things, start doing some things that your competitors don't do. And this is what you can do with this magnetic 8-in-1 device from Sotec. So Sotec, thank you. Video's coming out soon. Stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you watch this video all the way through, you know what to do. LS in the comments, learn something, or SS, saw something that you didn't know already. All right, so LS or SS. All right, thank you in the comments down below, and I'll talk to you guys on the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Peace.